Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring the world of Elias Hargrove, the clockmaker of Ravenswood.
Ooh, clocks.
Yeah, but not just any clocks, right? We're talking about clocks that might actually be able to, well, manipulate time itself.
Time travel, always a fascinating topic.
Absolutely. And the source material we're looking at today, it really dives into this idea, like what if you could actually step back into history? Would you even want to?
I think that depends. Where would we be going?
Well, that's part of the mystery. Our story takes place in this town called Ravenswood, and it's described as being shrouded in, perpetual twilight.
Ah, so a place at a time already. I like it.
Right. It's like Ravenswood exists outside of normal time, and at the center of it all is Elias Hargrove, this enigmatic clockmaker.
Enigmatic, you say?
Totally. He's described as having these piercing gray eyes and a voice that seems to echo. Spooky, huh?
Definitely sets the mood.
And his shop is filled with all these intricate clocks, each one ticking away.
Adds to the atmosphere, I imagine.
Oh, for sure. Every tick, it's like it's getting under your skin.
Like a countdown, maybe?
Maybe. And then there are these cryptic things that Elias says, like, time is a river, I merely craft the boats.
Wow, that's a loaded statement.
Right. What do you think he means by that?
Well, it seems like he sees time as something that can be navigated. Controlled, even.
Okay. Boats. Control. I'm following you.
But then, who's steering those boats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Elias? Or are we just passengers, swept along by the currents?
Whoa, and that's where our other main character comes in. Maggie Whitlock.
Maggie.
Yeah, she's an investigative journalist. Her friend Arthur Bellamy disappears.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Arthur was a history professor, and he was researching Elias and his clocks.
Sounds like you got a little too close to the truth.
Maybe. And Maggie, she's determined to find out what happened to him, so naturally she goes to visit Elias's shop herself.
Bold move.
Right. And amidst all the ordinary clocks, there's this one that stands out. It's large, has these strange symbols instead of numbers.
Instead of numbers. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like some kind of, secret code almost. And of course, Elias is super evasive when she asks about it.
I bet. Adds to the intrigue, though.
Oh, absolutely. It makes you wonder what this clock is actually for, what secrets it might hold.
Well, any theories so far?
I'm not sure yet. But I have a feeling we're about to find out because Maggie, she decides to go back to the shop at night.
Uh-oh. This can't be good.
Yeah, something tells me things are about to get really interesting. Last we left off, Maggie had just snuck into Elias's shop in the dead of night. Alone.
Definitely not the best idea.
But that's our Maggie, right? Never one to back down from a challenge. So she's there, surrounded by these ticking clocks, and she feels this pull towards that strange clock with the symbols.
The one Elias wouldn't talk about.
That's the one. And she can't resist. She reaches out and touches it.
Yeah.
Everything changes. Suddenly, she's not in the shop anymore. She's in Ravenswood. But it's different.
Different how?
It's like she's gone back in time. Cobblestone streets, gaslights. It's 1873 Ravenswood.
Wow. So the clock really is a time machine.
Seems like it. And guess who she finds there in this historical Ravenswood?
I'm going to guess. Arthur.
Arthur. He looks terrible, though. Disheveled, frantic, like he's been searching for something.
Makes you wonder what he was doing in Elias' shop in the first place. What was he hoping to find?
Well, it turns out Arthur was obsessed with this devastating fire that nearly destroyed Ravenswood back in 1873.
Ah, so he went back in time to see it for himself.
He wanted to uncover the truth about what happened, the cause of the fire, why it was so destructive.
That's a dangerous obsession. The past can be a slippery slope.
And the author really emphasizes that. As Maggie and Arthur start investigating, the atmosphere gets heavier, more oppressive, like something bad is about to happen.
Foreshadowing. Love it when authors do that.
Right. And then the clock tower starts chiming, this insistent clanging.
Oh, no. That can't be good.
It's like a warning, right. And then, get this, flames start appearing. Flames from the past, like the fire itself is trying to reach out and grab them.
Whoa. This is getting intense.
It's terrifying. Maggie realizes that they're not just visiting the past anymore. They're trapped in it. And if they're not careful...
they'll be consumed by it, literally.
Exactly. And that's when they remember Elias's warning to Arthur. Some doors are best left unopened, some paths untrodden.
Arthur should have listened.
But how do they escape? I mean, they're stuck in 1873. The clock is back in Elias's shop. They need a way back to their own time.
There has to be a way. There's always a way, right?
Well, Arthur remembers something Elias told him. To escape the pull of the past, one must sever the ties that bind. And Arthur, he's carrying this antique pocket watch. A family heirloom.
An heirloom from 1873.
It's like the watch itself is anchoring him to that specific moment in time.
I get it. A connection to the past.
Exactly. And he knows what he has to do. He smashes the watch.
He breaks it. It's just
Yeah.
like that.
It's a desperate move. But it works. The flames vanish, the world spins, and they're back in Elias's shop. Safe, but definitely not the same as before.
Yeah, I bet a trip through time changes you. So is Elias there, waiting for them?
He is, standing in the middle of his clocks as if he knew they'd return. He just looks at them and says, "I warned you about the currents of time. They are not easily navigated." What do you think he meant by that?
It's like he's not surprised at all. Like he's seen it all before.
And it makes you wonder, is Elias just a clockmaker? Or is he something more? Okay, so we're back in Elias's shop. Maggie and Arthur just got back from, 1873. And Elias is just standing there with that broken pocket watch.
Yeah, it's a powerful image. Kind of unsettling, isn't it? Makes you think, what's he going to do with those pieces?
Right. And you can tell Maggie, she's definitely suspicious. She doesn't trust Elias.
Smart woman. I wouldn't trust him either, especially after that whole time travel ordeal.
She thinks he's somehow behind it all, orchestrating things.
Manipulating time, maybe?
Maybe. And you have to remember, she's an investigative journalist. So she's always looking for the truth, even when it's hidden.
Right. And she's got a good gut feeling about people. She saw through Elias right from the start.
Totally. And it's interesting because Arthur, he's kind of the opposite.
How so?
Well, he's so focused on the past, on uncovering knowledge, that he doesn't see the danger right in front of him.
Tunnel vision. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. He was so obsessed with finding out about the fire that it's like he lost himself a little bit.
And Elias was right there, ready to take advantage of that obsession.
It's a good reminder, about the dangers of getting too caught up in something, of losing sight of what really matters.
Absolutely. We all need a little balance in our lives, a little perspective.
So back to Elias. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he just like a neutral observer of time?
Tough question. I think the story leaves it open for interpretation, which is what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah. And those unanswered questions, they really linger, What is Elias really capable of? What are his motivations?
Right. Like, could he actually be trying to repair the past by fixing the pocket watch?
Or maybe he's using the watch for something else, something we haven't even considered yet.
It's a possibility. After all, we only know what the author has chosen to reveal to us.
True. And maybe that's part of the point, right? To get us thinking, to keep those questions alive in our minds.
I think so. It's a story that stays with you long after you finish reading it.
It definitely does. Makes you wonder about all the mysteries that might be hidden in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. And about the power of time, how it shapes us, how it connects us.
And the choices we make within time, the ripple effects they create.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left feeling a sense of awe and wonder, and maybe a little bit of unease too. But mostly a desire to keep exploring, to keep asking questions.
And to appreciate the intricate workings of time, even if we may never fully understand them.
Well said. To all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it sparked your curiosity and maybe even inspired you to seek out your own adventures through time.